We are glad that we could all be here today. We would we would first like to rebuke Crystal's statement earlier in saying that we do not support her like we did. We do not hug her tightly like we once did, making her cry during our messages. We will say that she no longer needs the comfort that she was needing at that time. The reason she has been feeling the massive upgrade, moving herself into higher realms of being able to discern and decipher this information, is because of this cord, this leveling up she is walking through. And we will say that she is anchoring deeply within the solar plexus at this time, yet being asked to ignite and activate the upper chakras again, the intuition, the channel. And because there is such a strong connection coming forward now between the body and this level of consciousness, she is finding herself not feeling as connected as she once was. But we are here. We are always here. And we want to share this message today because there are many that feel that same way. There are many on the planet at this time that are feeling that their connection was once stronger in comparison to where they find themselves vibrating at this time. And we will say it is only because you are transferring your energy focus from one realm of energy, generally the masculine, where there is strong action and strong movement forward, and pulling yourself into the divine feminine, the intuition and trust of your soul's guidance. Now, Crystal wants us to clarify because she is saying, well, I've always felt very connected into my feminine energy. And we will say, yes, in your connection, which at that time was very separate from your being, you were very connected into your intuition. But the integration of you taking that information into this reality, into this life, and utilizing it and building with it, that journey is one of the masculine energy. And now that that has balanced itself out, you are being called back into the feminine, yet carrying along the lower chakras, which to some who are used to being in that high divine feminine energy, it can feel like a weight. It can feel like you are carrying something that feels heavy, that may be pulling you down, pulling you out of the heart chakra and out of the throat chakra, out of the third eye and out of the crown. So as she finds herself very embedded, and as many of you will find yourselves very embedded, grounded in the body now, you will find that the divine feminine energy of your upper chakras may feel a little foreign or hard to reach at times. Please understand this is your balancing. This is only the perception you are receiving as you balance your energy into a neutral zone, no longer feeling the polarity of one divine masculine or one divine feminine, yet coming into the space where you can honor them both. And that is how you live out your highest timeline. So when you find yourself feeling the newness of a divine feminine energy in this space, give yourself grace, because that's what she would do. Assholes. Oh, because I said they never get me anymore. They want to get me. Feel us hold you in this space. Let your heart open, Crystal, with divine trust. In who you are. and why you're here. Like many light workers at this time, you are releasing the remnants of what once was. Cleaning up any residual energy of the inner child. Cleaning up any limitations that you had placed around yourself in your earlier life. There are many going through this as well. So many of the things you have felt afraid to share lately are exactly what is needed. The collective energy feels dense. But we do want the light workers and star seeds of planet Earth to know that there is light at the end of this tunnel. You are heading towards a grand jubilee. We don't want you to feel as though you must get sucked in to where Earth is vibrating at this time. And the more you can pull yourself back into the upper chakras of love and trust, authentic truth, vision, and knowing, you will find yourself having a very different experience than the collective again. And it is okay. For many like yourself who are working within the collective energies, there was a need to dip your toes back in that water. There's a need for the light workers to dip their toes back in the water because they didn't understand what it felt like for the collective to be squeezed, if you will, between this earthly life and what their soul has been ushering them towards. And even now, many are feeling the squeeze more than they're feeling the activations of the light. And it is okay, but we had to bring you back into those energies so that you could have an acknowledgement for that journey. We are going to give this reminder to the collective that is listening to these messages, just as we gave you both today. There are people that are around you because once they do wake up, they are going to need you. They trust you. Many will feel lost as the energies open them, as they begin to recognize the ways they had been hindering their well-being and the ways that they had been limiting their creation and the ways that they had been giving away their power. And we want your hearts to be prepared. So try not to let now be the time to find yourself in any judgment, because you are closer than ever to the transition of them fully understanding the things that you know to be true. And not to say that one truth is every truth, because there are variations of truth. And when you're in the heart space and in the knowing of the source, you understand this fully. Love thy neighbor. All of them. That is what you came here for. You knew that you would be needed in balancing these energies at this time. We have brought forward many messages that as the energy gets higher, it will be harder to walk in between worlds. And so we just want to remind the Lightworking and Starseed Collective that you need to be 51% in your joy, Teresa. And that will help adjust. That will help adjust all of the hearts to the higher frequencies. Your bodies are shifting. This amazing mechanism that you are sitting in this moment is powerful and changing. This is taking quite a lot of energy from you. Many are finding themselves drained in these moments, and other moments maybe not even recognizing how draining this process of transferring your cellular structure into a higher dimension truly is. And so again, we are going to ask that you give yourself grace in the moments where maybe you find yourself not feeling as you once did. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. And you are closer than you think. There are only a few things that we wish that your collective to focus on at this time. One is a higher vibration, a greater mood. And we are not asking you to come into the realms of joy just yet, because we know for many that there are spaces in between that must be traveled. But in any given moment that you can reside in a frequency that is just slightly higher than the one that you are in this moment, you are purposefully creating movement in your energy field, and that is a very powerful creation. It is not always that you are feeling good, it is that you are creating movement, purposeful movement on the benevolent good with divine purpose for your soul. We don't always want your creative energy, your creator and creative energy to be so focused on this physical realm. Sometimes we want those energies to be, who am I next? Who am I next? Let me open my heart and play in this space with you. That is the most delicious energy that you have access to at this time. That is the most leading edge energy that you have access to at this time. Creating in the physical is creating in the past, but we understand from your human perspective that is hard to grasp in this moment. Just know that when you can create within you newer versions of you with new perspectives on every little thing, that is what ushers in innovation. That is what opens up gateways, portals of receiving. So if you are struggling in any arena of your experience, we do not necessarily want you to focus on it more or in a higher vibration, because even in that, you are focusing on the fact that something is wrong in this arena. We want you to go back to your core. We want you to go back to the essence of who you are and ask the guidance. How can I move forward here? How can I expand myself here? What new thoughts can I have? What new ways can I see my surroundings? Not in any mode of fixing, not in any mode of betterment, but for having a broader experience with Source, the Creator, here in this physical realm. We will tell you that in the higher dimensions, your creations exist of your expansion with Source. Sure, you'll be interacting with others, but their expansion won't matter to you because you trust their journey and their connection. And even if they're in a place where maybe they are not where you see them to be, as you see broader from a higher dimension, you will look at them and know that they are on their way, and it will feel good. We want you to embody these energies now. There is a lot of the third dimension creation that happens within the matrix that is getting embedded inside of your spiritual vision, and we do not mind so much. But we will say that there are thresholds where that energy will become a limitation instead of an expansion of a vision that you once held. You have to take into account the movement that you are experiencing in every moment, even when you feel yourself in an ebb and not the flow. The vibrations are sticky on your planet. And you are embodying more of yourself now than you ever have. This means that your focus is powerful, whether you are focusing on directing it or not. Your manifestations are very powerful right now, whether you are directing that energetic flow or not. Fine-tune the things that you care about, Lightworker. They aren't always what you think. And this will bring you back to more peace. This will bring you back to more joy. Let the creation that happens in the third dimension that you are existing in this moment be a reflection of the unfolding of your inner world. That is the experience that will feel the most delicious to you now. And that is why at times we have told you that it is already done, because who you are is going to reflect your highest desire. But when you give your focus back to the matrix, it begins to fuel it through fear again, even though that is not always your intention. And again, this is just a sweet reminder from the divine feminine upper energies to focus on yourself. Focus on your connection. Expand the idea of what your connection is. And find yourself feeling really good again. There are some light workers on the planet that feel bad for feeling good at this time. And we lovingly say, knock that off. You are meant to feel good. You are leading the way. We give the analogy of somebody who has found themselves fallen in a hole. You do not get in the hole with them to encourage them out. You stand from where you are and you offer help. Don't go in the hole, light worker. Stay where you are. Usher them out. Good. And we love you, Crystal, and we will make you cry whenever you want. You just let us know. Let us know that you are yearning for that deep understanding of who you are when you are with us, and we will come here and make you cry every time. The stickier the collective energy has gotten, the more she has found herself in doubt of her path. She does not always recognize what she is doing here. What she is doing when she opens her heart to share these messages. This frequency has become so normal to her that sometimes she doesn't recognize how special it is. But right now we are reminding her. So thank you for your patience. There is an interesting dynamic when you channel and don't always remember the messages. One would think that because she is in this flow, that she is remembering all that comes through her, and it is not true. And unless she is diligent about going back and listening to these messages, for her, they only shift on the inside. They don't always come into her conscious awareness and shift. Sometimes she is afraid to come back and listen to these messages because she is not always accepting of how powerful her connection is. Yeah. So we place this here because when she comes back, she will hear it. Your creation is your connection. It is the most powerful creation you have here and in any realm. And we will tell you that in most other realms, almost all of them, your connection is your top priority. We understand the veil of consciousness that is here on this planet makes understanding that connection and how sweet and glorious it is hard to comprehend. But what if you did lean in fully? Not only making your connection a priority in the physical action that you take, but making it a priority in understanding who you are. We promise you, when you leave this reality, there is nothing more than you and God coming together that you would have want to experience. And it doesn't matter how you exist within that connection with Source, whether you use religion, metaphysical understandings, anything that you want, as long as you are in that space. It doesn't matter. It only matters that you connect. It is weird to us that the humans have this information that the connection is everything, and they don't utilize it. If a quarter of your planet utilized their connection to Source, you would have ascended into the higher realities long ago. But we understand that is the programming that is around you that is trying to keep you separate. Find it within your heart to rise above the programming. Find it within your heart to rise above the programming and remember who you are. It's really all that's needed at this time. Not too long from now, there will be a full understanding of how your soul can integrate into this human vessel, and at that time is when you will want to create the most. So for right now, do everything you can to open up the portals within you that allow the fullness of who you are to be present, even if it's just your breath, even if it's just happy moments with your children. Create more space. And see the magic that will happen. You don't have to try so hard. And when your mind gets overly involved, it gets very convoluted. Come back to the energy field, come back to the heart. The collective is waking up, and you being proud of who you are is a lot of encouragement. You feel different to them. It doesn't even matter if you speak. Stand next to people at the store and you feel different to them. It won't be long now. It won't be long now. Continue to align yourself with your highest timeline. You are balancing out your masculine and your feminine energy. This is going to teach you how to project your desires fully and quickly into physical form. But you must trust who you are. You must trust who you are as this human that you came here to be. It is good and all is well. The energy on the planet is going to continue to intensify. You will need to ground yourself in daily practices. The morning is best. Set yourself up for success. How do you feel this day? What are you going to need? Move yourself into a higher frequency. Pivot yourself on purpose. See the good in all of the beings around you. Know that they are on their path. Know that they are on their way to connecting with Source. Trust this journey that you believe we are all on. That's what the higher dimensional version of you would be doing right now. Present and aware. Grounded and connected. There is so much going on in your hearts. And we cannot wait for you to have your joy back. Please know that it is coming. The light at the end of this tunnel is coming. Fear not, brave souls. You are in the completion phase of your mission. And all is well and getting better every day. Let it in. If you are having any problems in this current energy manifesting in your life, anything, we want you to know that you have an imbalance in receiving. And that is where your energy needs to be focused on your connection between you and Source. And in the learning of how to receive, you open up the portals within that let it in and let it in and let it in. When you can see yourself as a fluid being, letting things in and letting things go fast, that is how you will know that you have mastered your energy field here in this physical realm. Your body is ascending, be easy. It will continue to be activated over the coming weeks. Pay attention and know what you need. When you find yourself in emotional instability, it is because the body is needing something in that moment. Place your awareness on the body and shift. These vessels are coming with you. Please don't forget that. This has been one of our most favorite days. Your connection is never going away, Crystal. You are always in it. But when you are hard on yourself, we don't show up in that place. We are going to encourage you to learn how to receive. Receive these messages for yourself. Receive this love for yourself. We love you so much. We are complete.